Ron Hernandez, and I'm the founder of Moving Veterans Forward and an Army veteran.
All right, and let's take it back. You getting into the military, how did that come about?
I am a multi-generation uh, veteran. The It's a little crazy. Gonna throw that out there. We're all thick-skinned. I have a last name of Hernandez, but I am not Hispanic. I was a I was a love child from the '60s. I was born in 1966. Both of my parents were very, very young. Uh, and I was adopted, but the and I was adopted by a very wonderful family. But through my bloodline all the way back, and we all do the ancestry.com because I wanted to know where I came from. And my great grandfather served under George Washington, Nathan Woodard. He was a captain under George Washington. So that's how far back the uh, the legacy of my bloodline serving our great country. And I graduated high school.
That's
I
awesome.
had, yep, I had that hunger to serve and went into the United States Army.
And what year did you join?
I joined in 1986.
Okay.
I kind of ran around a little bit out of high school. I graduated in 84. Was dating my wife at that time. We're still together. We've been together since '83, and
Damn.
got married. Then I went into the army.
All right. And then, what was your first duty station?
I did my basic. My primary MOS was a 19 Delta. I was a
Okay.
scout, so all scouts, we all go to Fort Knox.
Hmm.
Um, Went to Fort Knox, completed scout school, then went to airborne school, went to select school. My first duty unit was actually 82nd Airborne, and it was shipped off Panama. So I was with Central Command with the 82nd at Howard Air Force Base in the middle. Fort Kobe is in the center of Howard Air Force Base.
Yeah.
Uh, I know I'm dating. I know I'm a lot older than you guys are. Uh, um,
To
so
find
I
a
leave.
lot, you could just be older than us. Maybe we don't know it's a lot.
Yeah, but so I did not serve in the first Gulf War because I was in Panama.
Hmm.
And I was in Panama until 1990, late 91. So then I came back stateside, went back to Fort Knox for a while, then went out to Carson for a little bit. And then the 90s came around and went over to the Balkans. It was in Bosnia and Kosovo. So with the
So,
cab,
so were you in Panama during the Delta prison raid?
the that was in 1990.
I thought it was 89.
No, okay. Just Cause was in December of '89. It was 90. Now, you're going to catch me. I have a brain fog. Memory's not as good as it used to be.
Mine either.
Uh, the I thought it was 1990 is when that
I could
big
be
prison.
off. I could be off. I mean,
Yeah,
I could
yeah.
totally be off.
But then I ended up my career in Iraq. So
Okay.
never made it to Afghanistan or nothing like that. So did my tours in Iraq. Uh, I got out in 2010. So
Okay.
May of 2010. I think it was like May 13th, 2010, I believe it was.
Okay. What year or years were you in Iraq?
I was there in late '03. Was there for just a little over a year. Came back stateside, got promoted. Then the unit's UIC number. We all know how that game is played. They flip the UIC number,
Yeah.
and they were deployed on the war table and was stateside maybe 6 months. Went back over in 2005 to 2006. Then came back stateside. Then went back over in late 2008. That was like November 2008. and up until I got injured in 2009, which was uh, early April.
Well, you were over there during some rough times then, for sure. I mean,
Most of my time was most of it was Nambar, Providence. I
okay.
was at Camp River, which was inside Al Assad.
Hmm. And you were a scout the whole time?
Scout or 11 Bravo.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, and I just like asking these questions because myself, and I'm sure many others are like this, like it's recent history. So as I kind of piece together what the climate was like in Iraq or Panama or Afghanistan, depending on who I'm talking to, or wherever things are, what the climate of the military was like itself. It's just interesting to me to kind of see kind of the outside story to people's experiences. Are you willing to talk on your injury and how you sustained it at all?
the The yeah, it was just we had a mission and just it was a bad night. So no one got killed, but we were flying in a helicopter and we got hit. So
Gotcha. Okay.
and we went down. So but yeah, like I said, nobody got killed though, which was a great thing. There was a couple, I believe there were F-18s close by that bailed us out that night. So
Well, very good. Yeah, glad to hear nobody was lost for sure. Now, so you sustained your injury. How soon did they get you out of country? And then kind of where did your journey go from there?
okay, the when I got injured, they flew me into what they call it, Anaconda or Blad,
Hmm.
and then from there went to Germany, and then from Germany they brought me stateside. Actually, they flew me all the way down to Fort Riley, Kansas. I spent some time down there, Fort Riley. Then they brought me up to Omaha because this is where my family was.
Hmm. Okay. And so it was in, I think you said in the other interview, it was in the hospital, the VA hospital, that you kind of got the idea for, or I shouldn't say got the idea. You basically started moving veterans forward.
Yeah, yeah, I was in the hospital up here in Omaha, and the that's where we that's where the brainchild came about. Where there was a veteran that was in the homeless program. He's getting ready to move into an apartment and had no furniture. I had one
Hmm.
of my kids was off to college. It was an empty room with nobody using that furniture, and that was the spark.
Yeah. So you said it took a few months for you to kind of realize God was pushing you toward, hey, this is your thing. Um, but was there any particular one instance where it really hit you, or was it just kind of like sometimes you need to receive information in the army, just that blunt force trauma to the head of information. How did that pan out?
It like the first couple moves, they were like, okay, we're just helping out a buddy. And then I think it was probably like the fifth or sixth one. It was that fall of 2010. And it was like, you know what? It was starting to give me, I hate using this term, but it was starting to give me kind of like a purpose in life.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to be honest, and I've been open about it. I was struggling with PTSD. I was struggling with suicide. I never
Hmm.
got any drugs or alcohol, to tamper that. But the VA was medicating me pretty bad. They had me on some pretty heavy drugs.
Yeah.
And I noticed if I was going to help a veteran that day, I didn't take my pills because I wanted to have all my factors about me. I needed to be awake. I needed to be aware of myself. And the next thing I know is, I'm taking less and less pills. The dreams aren't as bad or as often. And that was kind of like the utopia. This is what God wants me to do.
Yeah,
And today I'm on no medication at all
that's
today.
fascinating to me because so in doing this podcast for so many years, and it comes up every once in a while, um, but I've kind of been doing my own research based on talking to people regarding PTSD, and I think two big factors play a role. One is doing a better job preparing people to be mentally resilient. But obviously, no matter how well you do that, there could always be things that can bring a person down. We're human. We all have those vulnerabilities depending on what they are. So the other thing I've noticed is either making sure someone feels validated in actions that would otherwise cause PTSD, or someone finding a purpose is seems to go really far for helping people out of PTSD issues, whether it's completely out or just very softening it. But it's interesting to hear another case where kind of the medicine was helping others, which is really what you think about what we're all prone to do.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, it's just to me, it's I still get up at 5:30 in the morning, like I was on active duty. You know, I don't wear the uniform no more. My uniform is blue jeans and a t-shirt, but that's my uniform. Come in. Uh, we have a mission every day, and and when I look at these veterans, I have nothing to complain about. I have a nice home. I have a nice car. I have a woman that's been beside me since '83. And these guys are struggling just to survive sometimes from moment to moment. I have nothing to feel sorry about. And that's what
yeah,
keeps me pushing because I want these guys to have what I have.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting when I mean I'm sure the perspective comes from to different people different ways, but I remember when I was young, I was thinking about all the things I didn't have, and now I'm just so thankful for the things I have. And I want to help other people. I don't live in an extravagant house or anything like that, and the list goes on. But definitely thankful for family and a very livable house, and I hope that other people can get there too. Whether it's other veterans listening to this podcast, being able to help themselves or get help. And so it's an interesting perspective, and I'm glad I have it now because the old perspective is not good.
Yeah. Well, I'll share a little story with you. I have the reason I say my memory's bad, I have fought two different types of cancers. Both are related to deployments. The first one was multiple myeloma, bone marrow cancer. I whipped that. I beat it. And you're looking at a guy that's now, what, 6 months, Joe? Yeah, Joe's over there shaking his head. The 6 months, cancer free, port's been removed, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. They gave me 4 to 6 months to live 2 years ago.
Damn.
Blow that way.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So you know what? God's got a purpose for me. I mean, the doctors are like, this doesn't happen. I mean, there is not any cancer proteins in my body. No one has an answer for it. So every day I wake up,
Congratulations.
yeah, every day I wake up, first I say, thank you, Jesus, for letting me wake up today. What do you want me to do? What needs to be done?
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to live my life. Because, one day the cancer is going to come back. And I got to be honest, I've lost a lot of my memory between all the chemo and the treatments, but maybe that's a good thing because I don't remember crap anymore. So, and then it's
That
also,
is
yeah, so that's kind of a blessing. But then again, if I do remember it, I can just say, I don't remember, then I don't have to deal with it.
I mean, there's something to be said for plausible deniability.
Yeah. So, but
Um, well, that's gonna have to be an outlier in my little faux thesis I'm doing on PTSD and memory and treatment and gratitude and all that, but that's fascinating. So what soft skills would you say you got for the military and that you've been able to use since then? Obviously running a business,
yeah.
there's going to be time management would probably be a good one.
Yeah. Time management. Also, the Joe can tell you, I can pinch a penny. I can cut a penny 4 different ways to get the mission
That's
done.
good.
Yeah. But I would say the biggest thing is leadership and loyalty.
Yeah.
The All my guys down here, even when I was in the military, I was not one of those NCOs. Once I got the stripes, I was not brought up. I had some really good NCOs coming up through the ranks. They were very old school. They were the Vietnam era guys. You know, uh, I led from the front. If I asked my guys to go out dig holes, I was out there digging holes with them. I might be not out there all day, but I was there.
Yeah.
Uh, sometimes if somebody had something to do, I would just show up in the middle of the night. You know what? Go home. I'll work a shift. The it was just that respect.
Yeah.
And then you always train up. You know, two below know ranks below know how to do my job.
Yeah.
In case I can't be there or somebody else can't be. That's just the way I lead, and that's how I lead down here. Everybody's empowered. They all knew their job. I am not a micromanager. You know your
Yeah.
job. You know your job. Do it. Just call me if there's a problem.
Yeah. Absolutely. Um, yeah, I'm notorious for not micromanaging. And then when someone asks me too many questions, sometimes I'll say, hey, I might be a lot of things, but I'm not a micromanager. So
Yeah,
go ahead and make your call. Yeah, there's definitely a lot to be said for leading from the front. Um,
yeah.
and I think it's effective both in the military and outside of it. So that's awesome that you're bringing it outside of it as well. Um, Now, if you were to go back in time to the day you signed up to join the military, what would be your advice and maybe expand on it a little bit as well?
Um, if I was going to talk to that young kid that was at the MEP station getting ready to take off for boot, I
Hmm.
would tell him, don't be afraid. It's going to be a good time and hang on. It's going to be a
Yeah,
ride. So the do I have any regrets? No. I would do it again. If I wasn't 60 years old and sick with cancer, and if I could go right now, I would go in a heartbeat. And I'm going to share something. It'll be on the news. One of the kids that got killed uh, is from our community here in Bellevue.
damn.
That I don't know if you've seen the news yet or not. Then another one was from Des Moines, which is just east of here.
Right.
So, but no, just hang on. It's going to be a ride. Don't be afraid and embrace it because it'll be gone in an instant.
That is good. That is
Yeah.
good advice. We haven't had that one before. That's good. Um, so as far as your transition out, did you take advantage of any other veteran benefits? And what were they?
The uh, Pretty much all the benefits I received is, of course, I got my retirement and my pension, my VA. I didn't jump into any type of voc rehab or anything like that uh, because I was trying to put my body back together. I was pretty lost. I'd lost some friends. I didn't know where my place was. I'm going to be honest. I was in the VA and a snot-nosed little E4 from personnel.
Hmm.
That was my retirement. They did the paperwork while I was in the VA. So
Yeah,
I was pretty the last probably 6 months of my career, I was not in a good place. So I just wanted to get out and just start my life over.
yeah,
So
yeah. I think that's one of the hardest parts about getting out and doing all. It's so hard for people to take it seriously because they want to be out and they want to be done. It's almost like when you're in high school or college and you got senioritis, where you don't give a shit anymore. You're just like, I just want to be on to the next phase. But then it's like, we try to talk about that some on here is like it is important. Like I know it's so hard to take it seriously. Unfortunately, some of it you can reapply, you can get back what you might have given up by being cavalier about it. But yeah, it's so difficult with guys that, they just want to be out and it's hard for them to take it seriously. And I totally get that. I went through some of that demobing for the reserve. Like I wanted to be home and COVID was starting during our whole demob. So it's like, I just want to get home. That's all I cared about. And I was willing to leave caution to the wind. So that is a a good piece of advice and a tough thing for sure.
I
Um,
I knew my military career was over. I knew it was done.
yeah,
I, I lost really my entire life was military. I was losing my identity. I was losing my job. Wasn't going to see my buddies no more. Some little 20-year-old E4, I didn't know from Adam, they brought in, and all she wanted to do is just do the paperwork. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
yeah.
I'm getting so I had that attitude for a while. But you know what? I grew up, stopped feeling sorry for myself, and the still taking care of soldiers today. So, and that's the main mission.
Good. Well, last question. What's a solid, funny story you've got for us? Sure, there's at least one. It can be however appropriate or inappropriate you want. We're not here to judge.
You tell the goat story.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You want me to tell the goat story?
No, you tell whatever comes.
Oh, come on. I just heard that there's a goat story. It's going to be really hard not to hear that.
2006, Operation Liberty Express. That was the big elections, right?
Mhm.
In Iraq. So we had all the poll workers coming in. We had built a little tent fob. We had uh, all the like. We brought people in from Baghdadi, hit down from the dam Haditha, uh, all on this fob, and they were training them how to set up their polling booths, doing the thumb and the die and all that stuff. Well, my guys, myself and my guys, we were in charge of security for the fob. So it was about 11 o'clock at night. And well, I get to take one step back. There's probably about 300 of them and about 20 of us. So we knew the next morning, how they are over there in Iraq. They had this
Yeah.
goat, and it was a white goat, and they took purple or blue. I can't remember the color now, but they spray painted it down its back. Everybody knew the goat was going to get sacrificed tomorrow. A problem. They had it tied to a pole. One of my E4s, you got to love the E4 mafia. He comes running up to the top, screaming in a panic, and he's like, "They're trying to get it on with the goat." I go, "What do you mean?" Of course, I'm not going to use the language he was using, but they're trying to get with the goat. And I go, "What do you mean?" So I go walking down there with him, and there was three of them in a handicap porta john. One was in the porta john, had it by the horns, and the two were pushing the goat, and they were going to have sex with the goat in the porta john. I am not lying. I got the pictures and the videos to prove it. So I had to put a three-man team, security team on the goat all night because they were trying to get the goat all night. Guess who had to write an after actions report and give it to the old man?
I would have had so much fun writing that report.
Oh, I wrote it, and I wrote it good. He looked at me. He says, "This did not happen," and ripped it in front of me because he didn't want to push it up.
Right.
I had to justify why I had to put a three-man security team on a porta john
That's
for about
hilarious.
17 hours. Oh yeah, that's the goat story. So yeah,
Well, I had a
that's
commander uh years ago, and he used to say, and he would say stuff like this, like to get a rise out of you, right? He wasn't serious, obviously, but he would be like, he'd talk about micromanagement. He'd go, "Look, I don't care how you do it, but I need that goat fucked.
yep,
I don't care how you do it. It's just got to be done." So that you do whatever, and like later he'd be like, "Is it?" And you're like, "Yes, sir. It's taken care of." Whatever it was, but wow. Well, this has been awesome. Uh, Ron, thank you so much for your time and for both interviews and of course Joe as well for the other interview. But it's always insightful talking to any veteran about their experience. And so I'm glad that you're another in a growing list of people that can all give information that people could learn from, especially other veterans. So thank you so much for your time and uh We'll have your information on the website for people to go your way, especially regarding moving veterans forward. So unless you have anything else, I'm good.
We're good.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys
Yeah.
taking the time for us and to hear our story and where we're at and where we're going.
Yeah, and if you're ever up this way, close by, don't be afraid to reach out to us. We can meet you somewhere. So I'm not afraid to drive too far.
Oh, I was
So,
already thinking that. Once in a blue moon for work, I end up in that area. We have, for a little bit at my job, I went up there occasionally to help try to sell stuff. Now we have a guy up there, but he's young, he's green. So there may be a time or two, instead of my boss, I go up there to work with him, and he's in the Nebraska City area. So I'll probably reach out, it's either going up or coming down. So
well, on with the interstate, that's half hour
yeah,
south of us.
yeah. Yeah, because he's kind of between Lincoln and Omaha. So
We eat
Um,
lunch,
do what?
we eat lunch professionally for a living these days between all the meetings we have. So
Oh yeah, you got to.
food and
Well, good deal, guys. Thank you so much again, and we'll talk to you later. We thank you for listening, and we hope you got something helpful out of this content.
If you're looking for more, be sure to check out our resources tab on our website.
Unbroken-veterans.com.
And if you're looking for ways to connect, be sure to reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn.
Until next time, remember to check your zeros, fives, tens, and 25s.